Okay, thank you for tuning in. All right, so this is going to be the format of the show from this week going up until election day. We will always begin by bringing everybody up to speed on what has happened in Zimbabwe news. A lot of things happen in Zimbabwe news and sometimes you miss it. My job is to make sure whatever you missed, we bring it up to speed. So we will always begin by touching on the key news items. The second thing we will do is we will break down the activities or the playbooks by each political party. Mlongozi ya kulitaka na kuma election, so ma political party ateka chifirima vanenge makambo nezvona vapina mbawa vachida outdo each other mbawa saka mabawa ranger anenge achida outdo each other between now and the election. So we will break down we will have a category where we break down what MDC was up to. We'll have a category where we break down what Zanu PF was up to. And then we'll have a breakdown where we break down but I will end each program like I will end tonight by giving you an analysis of who have Indiana Bamberi and for what reason. So tonight I am going to break down for you what is happening in the playbook where Chamisa now finally has got some money. Everybody's been talking about no Chamisa anamari, so their campaign is slow. Chamisa finally has got some money, but the trouble with the money that Chamisa finally now has is Mnangagwa has unleashed his secret weapon. I am going to make you understand what is happening with the two. Understand what happens when Chamisa has money and understand what happens when Mnangagwa unleashes his secret weapon. So one of the big items that happened this week is the British, those are my British. Yeah, Zimbabwe, but listen to what Kate Howe, the Member of Parliament in the British Parliament, said about Zimbabwe this week. Watch this.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister will know that later this month Zimbabwe will have its first elections since Mugabe was ousted by a military coup. Recently, my friend the Honourable Member for Bournemouth West and myself have returned from Zimbabwe. We heard from Zimbabweans their concern that this will not be a genuinely free and fair election. Will the Prime Minister, the Constitution is not being adhered to and the opposition are having no chance of getting to the state media, would the Prime Minister give an assurance that our government will not rush in to agreeing that this is a free and fair election until we have seen that it really means change and not just for the election?
Yeah. I say to the Honourable Lady, can I commend the work that she does, the excellent work she continues to do as chair of the APPG on Zimbabwe. And obviously we welcome the announcement of the date of the election on the 30th of July, but we are urging all parties involved to pursue free, fair and peaceful elections, because I think that is absolutely what the Zimbabwean people deserve. And we will certainly watch very carefully to see how those elections are conducted and consider, obviously, the conduct of those elections as appropriate. We've repeatedly said that if the Zimbabwean government can demonstrate commitment to political and economic reform, then the UK stands ready to do all it can to support its recovery. But obviously that commitment is essential.
Joanne Patterson.
So, to help you understand what just took place there, is in the British Parliament in this last week, this woman, crazy woman, Kate Howe, who has no real business talking about Zimbabwe in her parliament, they've got bigger issues to worry about in the UK, she decides she's going to get up. And when she got up, she says, oh, Zimbabwe, oh, watch out, hey, I'm subscribing with EDP, Let me give you a historical lesson, number one, about Kate Howe, number two, about the matter that she's talking about. Kate Howe is one of those people who has forever been a pro-MDC movement British MP. She will support anything that the MDC does. Now, Kate Howe does not even understand that Zimbabwe has got other political parties that are not MDCT. As a matter of fact, for those who like to say CCC, let the British speak. When Kate Howe actually speaks, she is not favoring Nelson Chamisa, she is favoring Thokozani Kupe, because she is very clear that the leader of the opposition in Zimbabwe is MDCT. MDCT, not MDC Alliance. Understand the fine print, the difference. MDCT, not MDC Alliance. So, for those of you who are womberera Kate Howe mawoko, understand you're womberera in your mawoko for a person who wants Nelson Chamisa to be subside to Thokozani Kupe. My bad. But here is the science that she doesn't understand. First of all, when you look at all the legal minds that have spoken about the issue of ZEC, okay, look at Fadzai Mahere, look at Lovebo Maduku, look at even Professor Wosime Ngube. Look at even Tendai Biti. The legal minds that have commented on this whole saga of ZEC, not a single one, not a single legal mind, have underplayed the significance or the relevance or understanding of Priscilla Chigumba. Understand that. No one is saying Priscilla Chigumba doesn't know how to do her job. They are differing on the methods being deployed in order to do the job. The whole fight with ZEC, for those who don't understand what is the whole fight about, the whole fight goes like this. Everybody is saying, Nai ZEC, nai mati bumizota uya bedroom, bamne mjuro wa cook up ya bedroom. Kwa tamuno zaro wa say, hasta uzo zoru mwana zarwa. Tita kuzoru mwana zarwa ne program zipi. Tita tizeiwo program za zara mwana. Sura kuona ukasha. Nozo kuchema vanu. Priscilla Chigumba kuti bodo. Kondika kupinza imu and if you interfere with the ballot paper. But the reason Priscilla Chigumba is going to win the fight is she stands on the legal basis where she is saying, I cannot change the law. The law you gave me from Parliament tells me to do things this way. Now, I really need to help you understand why this is Chamisa's fault out after all. The reason why Parliament was unable to pass the bill, on this whole issue of ZEC is, do you remember the time when MDC split when Morgan Tsvangirai was contesting with Tendai Biti? Okay? When Tendai Biti fought with Morgan Tsvangirai in Parliament split, Parliament lost the sharpest lawyers that MDC was bringing, because in Parliament, you no longer had the Mudzuris to push the agenda through. You no longer had Tendai Biti to push it through. You no longer had, what was his name? The other one, Elton Mangoma. You no longer had Elton Mangoma to push it through. So there's people you no longer had in Parliament who should have been pushing the agenda of getting the electoral reform done. It's not Zanu PF that subsided the electoral reform. It's actually the fact that MDC was fighting in Parliament. They brought their dirty laundry and they hung it out for everybody to see. That's why this thing didn't go to Parliament. So you tell me, how did you think electoral reform was going to be pushed if you chucked yourselves out? You chucked yourselves out. You did. Tell me, MDC, who chucked you out? Can those who support MDC tell me that who chucked Tendai Biti out of Parliament? You tell me, who chucked him out? Who chucked Mangoma out? Tell me, who chucked Mangoma out of Parliament and prejudiced the electoral reform process? You did. So this is where the problem with the electoral reform sequence of events happened. Saka, Mzad Matanga Tuka Steregi, remember that you did this. Now, Kate Howie goes on to call this a military coup. It wasn't a military coup according even to MDC. One of the first legal minds that spoke is Advocate Nelson Chamisa as soon as the coup happened. The same lawyer, listen to me, Zimbabweans, the same lawyer, okay, who is representing Advocate Nelson Chamisa today in the High Court in the matter against Thokozani Kupe, is the same lawyer who went to the Constitutional Court and got the Constitutional Court to sign on to say this wasn't a coup. Now, Nelson Chamisa came himself out and said this wasn't a coup. So Kate Howie, I know you want everybody to say it's a coup, but Zimbabwe has already said it's not a coup, we can't go back there. Now we must deal with the elections. Anyway, let me take a moment to say our deepest condolences, of course, to the Emmanuel Manyika family. Emmanuel Manyika has been laid to rest. Our deepest condolences to him and his family. May his soul rest in peace. He was an absolute maverick. For those of us who are in the social space, we knew how much value the man brought to the table. So God rest his soul. Now, I'm about to go into the political parties, but let me say hi to people who are watching and who said where they're watching from. Who is watching? Guys, if I miss your text, make sure you write so that I can say hi and wait and give you a big up from where you're watching from. Maita Fadzwa says she's watching from Blue Roof. Hudson is watching from Cape Town. Hi, Hudson. Taku is watching from Bushu. Karoi, you got Trust. Who else? Lowen is watching from Zimba. Who else? Where are you guys watching from? Where are you watching from? Let me say hi to you. Where are you watching from? Linda Msadira is watching. Ruramai is always head bowed. Chiedza Mavangira, always good to see Chiedza Mavangira. You can always count on Chiedza Mavangira. Who else do we have? Who else do we have watching? Okay, we've got London, we've got AC Stop and block people. Okay. I should block people with angry faces? No, people are just, hey, like they're not angry at me, they're angry at themselves. Why should I block them? Okay, anyway, thank you to everybody who's tuned in, to everybody who's watching. I want to thank you guys. I mean, for those of you who don't know, we're now starting to make a lot of money from this show. I mean, YouTube is now paying us. We're now finally getting paid by YouTube for the show. We got accepted by YouTube for ads just a couple of days ago. So thank you. All right, now, let me talk about Zanu PF in this last week. Can I talk about Zanu PF? Let me talk about Zanu PF. Zanu PF. Should I talk about Zanu PF first or should I talk about MDC first? If you want to know about Zanu PF first, please press the like button. If you want me to talk about MDC first, press the hearts button. Like for Zanu PF, hearts for MDC. Let me see where to begin here to bring you up to speed on what's happening with both. Like for Zanu PF, hearts for MDC. Who are we beginning with? Like for Zanu PF, hearts for MDC. I see hearts. Okay, I might be slower here. Let me know where. Like for Zanu PF, hearts for MDC. Okay, so it looks like Zanu PF or MDC. Who we got first? Yeah? Zanu PF? Okay, so Zanu PF. So there's a clip that's going around on the internet of what happened at the Zanu PF Bindura rally. I've always been talking about Mash Central and why Zanu PF needs to be careful about Mash Central. Watch this. Now, what you're watching there is the version of events we've heard now. Okay, so there's version of event number 1, which everybody has said. This is what we heard happen, but that's actually not the truth, okay? So first of all, what really happened is there's a new security protocol in Zanu PF, and the security protocol came as a result of the Bulawayo bombings, and the security protocol presides that when the president finishes his rally, the president must be allowed to leave first. So the security protocol does not allow everybody to leave first. Apparently, but if you ask me, if you want to know what I think happened and why people were going out, I will tell you what I think happened. What I think happened is, right? So I'm going to cheat this is yeah, atura commander agriculture and then vangatura gaza but then no one's opening me rally. I beat the group was super soon. So I think people are actually running to another rally. I don't think they're running away from this rally. I think, look, it's election season. So I think people were just running to get what else was next on the agenda. I don't really think people were getting away from an ED rally. So let's not say people were getting away from an ED rally, because I don't think that is what they were doing. Zanu PF is a new rock star. An absolute rock star. One of the biggest surprises for me in the whole of Zanu PF, the single biggest surprise is the performance of General Constantine Chiwenga. He is an absolute surprise for me. General Chiwenga is now the #1 rock star in Zanu PF. General Chiwenga is now the #1 rock star in Zanu PF. And I'll tell you why. He is doing something that Emerson Mnangagwa cannot do. Emerson Mnangagwa is performing well from a government perspective. He's signing big deals. He's meeting with big people. They are doing big meetings. Big. He's Mr. Big in government. But Emerson Mnangagwa is actually not doing that great in rallies because General Chiwenga. General Chiwenga is going for what is called in business the underbelly. Underbelly, General Chiwenga had a very strategic meeting this week. He had a meeting with the Indian community. Understand this. The Indian community in Zimbabwe is the single most liquid, richest community in Zimbabwe. They occupy and dominate the cycle and heartbeat of trade. The Indian community in Zimbabwe are controlling trade in Zimbabwe. They're tradesmen naturally. Vanoziva kutengesa mapowder, vanoziva kutengesa maputi, vanoziva kutengesa vapane vamwe vacho vakanganzwa mapicture other picture. This is not the Indians I'm talking about. These ones are also in there, but they are not the ones. The Indians I'm talking about. Oh, not yeah, these are the Indians. These ones, yeah. Chiwenga had a meeting with these Indians. Understand? This is a constituency that brings in new votes. The difference between the two candidates is one is going after protecting their vote, the other is going after trying to get new vote. I always used to say Chamisa has a better chance of bringing in the new voter. This time with this move, General Chiwenga is now the superstar of Zanu PF that brings in new votes. No one else in Zanu PF is bringing new votes. Nobody. Because squad Zanu PF aritenge seke. You can't sell those people. But General Chiwenga, he is hitting the underbelly. Ma India over scarf. Just last week he was with the colored community. Got the colored and there is colored community. They are not called, even though they call themselves coloreds, they are not coloreds. They are called mixed race. Last week he was with the mixed race community. And he struck again the underbelly. He got the underbelly, got them to Nyamwerera. Now, this is a constituency you need, MDC. You are allowing Zanu PF to take a constituency you need. General Chiwenga, I applaud you. Pafea jama mdaraga awa chisoja chenjuru kushanda. Whether wanu murugua commander kuti vauye kuma meeting over kuzi commander chine basa nje kuti command election. So General Chiwenga to me is the absolute number one superstar in Zanu PF right now. However, I said ED spending his time in government. I'm only talking about Zanu PF. I'll get into what MDC has been doing. Emerson Mnangagwa spent last week a lot of the times with young people in Zimbabwe. President Emerson Mnangagwa launched the Empower Bank. Let's talk about this. Let us talk about this. How do you launch a bank in a country that does not have any money? Help me understand this. There is no money coming out of the banks, but you proceed to launch a bank. Are you okay? Are you okay? Let me help you to figure out what the president did. When the president launched the Empower Bank, I think the whole ship was about to be ondo, but it was saved by one man. I'm going to start by telling you the things that are crazy about this bank. The problem with financing youth ideas in Zimbabwe is not that there is no youth bank. We're not looking for a bank, okay? The solution was never a bank to start with. The solution was streamlining how young people access finance. The solution was making sure you talk to the banks, which is the only industry in Zimbabwe where every single company operating in that sector is making a profit of millions. The only industry. There's not a single bank in Zimbabwe that's not making a profit. Every bank is making a profit. In fact, the first quarter results of this year alone were over $60 million worth of profits in banks. Every bank has lots of money. It's not that banks don't have lots of money. They just don't have lots of money to put out. What the president should have been focusing on is making sure you streamline the financing from these banks so that these banks reserve a percentage. I'll give you an example. The total loan book of this country. If you took 5% of the total loan book in this country, you're sitting on $400 million. The bank the president opened has $12 million. $12 million spreading out to over 6 million young people. It's not enough money. You're talking about $2 million, sorry, $2 per person. Aikwane president, aikwane Marinho, aikwane president, aikwane Marishoma president. $12 million is nothing, but we should have leveraged. However, what legitimized what the president did, what legitimized President Emerson Mnangagwa's bank launch is one man. One man. If you listened to what Shingi Munyeza said, Shingi Munyeza is probably the most respected business person in this country, at least one of them. He's run one of the biggest franchises in the country, the African Sun Group. He's the king of franchising in Zimbabwe with Ndiega mufundisi in Zimbabwe, anorana mabawa, anona kids. Mama bawa mama mufundisi anakidze. Bawa ra Shingi Munyeza rinospaka. Shingi Munyeza got on stage and he explained that we have to deal with the former ghost of the youth bank. But we have to understand this is an opportunity we must take going forward. You would remind our parents. Remember land reform. This is the story of land reform. When land reform happened, a lot of people said, the land reform, Zanu PF, Zanu PF. Then there's people who went and they got land, and 10 years later, you don't have a story to tell your children. When your children ask you, why don't you have land? You say, Zanu PF. No, you decided not to participate. It's the same thing with the youth bank. 5 years from now, why do you not go and get the money of the youth bank? You say, Zanu PF, go and get the money. Most of us later, but go and get the money. The president is looking for votes. He understands launching a youth bank brings in some of those votes. Get the money. Get the money. Why don't you want to get the money? So, anyway, they launched the youth bank. The president goes on to say, oh, but my youth are badare mari. We need to make sure that the youth pay back the money. Where do you think we learned not to pay back the money? You tell me which government official or office has ever paid back any money. Which one? President's office, Vice President's office, Mayor's office, Mbudzi office, Mapenzi office. Hakuna office inotora mari. Saka mayuta katora mari. Motongo na mada kuti ameno. Anyway. Also, Zanu PF, I feel like I need to get to MDC now, but also Zanu PF graduated 300 new jobs created by Zanu PF this week. ZBC announced to us that Zanu PF has created 300 new jobs, and the 300 new jobs were created for these guys here. Look at this, 300 new jobs. And then you say there's no job creation. Bring up the 300 jobs. You got them? Now, 300 new jobs. What do you think is the job of these 300 people? You tell me, there's 300 new jobs. What do you think is the job of these 300 people? I want to see what some of the answers here are. What is the job of these 300 people? Do we know? What do you guys think the job of these guys are? Basarabo, going towards an election. What do you think their job is? Does anybody know? You guys don't know? You don't know their job? So, as you can see, their job is to protect the ballot box. And the vanguard. They want to protect you and me. They are protecting all of us. Just in case, squad Shakespeare system. System. What do you think they were okay? When you look at this picture, what do you think they were learning in class? Like, what do you think session 1 was about, lunchtime session was about, or afternoon session was about? What do they look like they were learning? What do you think they were learning? Last member. Anyway, so that's enough of Zanu PF. That's what I think Zanu PF spent their week doing. Let's talk about what MDC was doing this week. So my analysis of MDC still remains, okay? I'm fond of Chamisa. I think he's an absolute asset for this generation. But MDC, maybe you disagree with me, but I think it's the story of missed opportunities. Imagine, nobody split MDC for them, but they split MDC for themselves. You have a situation right now where in Mavuku Tafara, James Maridadi lost a primary election in the MDC alliance, but James Maridadi has gone and printed posters, got himself on the alliance ticket, and James Maridadi is running as an MDC alliance candidate together with the person who won. Help me understand, guys, what does this mean? Maybe I don't know, MDC, you know better. Why would you have two candidates on the MDC alliance running in the very same constituency? Help me understand this. Help me understand why we still don't know who the running mates of MDC Alliance are. Help. I don't want people to think I'm attacking you, but you tell me, who is vice president to Nelson Chamisa? Who is vice president? And who are his choices to choose from? Can he appoint Tendai as vice president? Seriously? Tendai BT why election at Terence Mukupe? You can't appoint Munaruno Chair why election. Could I the vice president? How do you appoint Munaruno Chair? Waku Chair, what broom Chair, Chair, Wanam Kupe? Could I the vice president Wenika? And who's your other vice president? It's Blaz, it's my grass, Anzan. Mube. Anzan. Tozan Gube, Iowa, Tozan Gube, no Mwajo. Washman Mube. Do you really think Washington Mube can pass as vice president? So Nelson Chamisa is in a corner this week. So help me understand. Where are the vice presidents of MDC going to come from? There is a reason MDC has not told us who their vice presidents are yet. Because there is no candidate Anotenge Seka on the position of vice president. But if you think that is unsettling, do you know what I find most unsettling? Out of 210 seats in Parliament, MDC has 7 women. Tell me it doesn't matter. You tell me, 7 women out of 210 seats. Not even 10%, which would have been 21. You tell me. MDC supporters, you help me understand. Maybe in this country, help me understand Vanu supporter MDC. How you say you are a party that is inclusive, but yet not even 10%. Munokunwane Zanu PF Vitori but 30%. Not even 10% is women. 7 out of 210 is women. How do you justify that to me? Help me understand, because clearly I'm missing something. I must be missing something. The top table of MDC is like anti-women. Why is that? Help me understand. What is it? What is the reason that causes MDC to only have 7 women out of 210? What is the reason? You don't have an answer, right? You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. But Chamisa has made a smart move. The smartest move that Nelson Chamisa made this week, the smartest move, is when he had his rally today. Congratulations on your rallies, by the way. My rally Nelson Chamisa, anouya vanhu vasina kubhaswa, vanhu vari kufara, vanhu vasingatete chando, vanhu vanouya out of the true love that they have for this guy. I actually always say, for every rally Nelson Chamisa has, you must multiply the people by 3. Multiply those rallies by 3, because there is another 2 people for every 1 person who did not come. Your rallies are spot on. Well done on the rallies. However, there is a challenge, but I'm not talking about, in fact, there is what I like about this week is Chamisa said he took a position this week. The position Nelson Chamisa took was this. His position was, come what may come, we are going to put people on the street to demonstrate. We're demonstrating everywhere in the country. Headlines are going to be writing about this tomorrow in newspapers. Chamisa has promised to shut down Zimbabwe. You know why I like your strategy? Because it's probably the only strategy that you can employ right now that will work. To shut down Chamisa has put it on record in his rally today in Marondera that the whole Zimbabwe is going to be shut down. He is going to do it until they Chamisa. There will be no election taking place in Zimbabwe, and he is And if you think that was the worst of it, the teachers of Zimbabwe have then come out and supported him. So you have the original structures of MDC, who are Pito, Botipa Road, and Jema match MDC in Ojigona. Yes, here in Zanu PF Youth League. Zanu PF had a match, Vanono also care and Ubira Madara Mari. MDC had a match, Vanono also match as sure because Hasha do not the energy match. Now, the teachers have come on board. The Progressive Teachers Union of Zimbabwe has come on and announced that they will be joining the demonstrations and the march. You now have a very important group of people called the Teachers of Zimbabwe who are joining MDC, and they're getting on the street and they are marching. This is smart. And why is it smart? Because it is the only chance that right now Chamisa has of slowing down kurohwa kwacho. Unenge mara kuzoti ari kunorohwa obva ndisanda ndikuziva ndikunokiwa bandisandanokiwa rega ndimbota zvese zvinoita kuti ndisakiwe. So that is going to be happening. Chamisa has promised it. You're going to be reading headlines about it. So these demos will be a game changer. If they work, then Chamisa wins. If they don't work, guys, maona mabasa 300 aya createwa. Maona mabasa 300 aya. Mabasa 300 acreatewa aya kumana. Ndekuti election ikasabuda nice. Ikasabuda nice election. Munodedza boys dzacho ne girls dzacho tsesimoko. Because in National Youth Service, it teaches the youth how to service the country. Those young people who come and service the country. And you know who's the Minister of Youth? Kazembe, uyapano, Kazembe. So what do you think Kazembe is telling those young people to do? Anyway, let's talk about other candidates. I want to get to the point where I can tell you the number one most important weapon that ED is deploying, because I think that's the best part of the show. The number one weapon. So Chamisa. So sorry, I haven't talked about Chamisa's money. So Chamisa now has money. For those of you who were not following, Chamisa went through a dry spell where he now was struggling and campaigning MDC and guys is Mari, and the MDC could not really fund to buy cars, to buy posters, to put up billboards. Finally, the campaign has got money. We saw 2 days ago, Nelson Chamisa started putting up billboards. We now have about 80 billboards that are going up, being put up by Nelson Chamisa. Now, these billboards, they look, anika kakura zakaushota so wakambona msikana nenga achifamba akapfeka butsu, but butsu inenge iri kana yeAdidas but iri Abibas. Kana nenga akapfeka mascara, but mascara acho inenge iri mascara yenharo. The mascara yekuti nhasi ndichaskara ndichamheno inyange yakapuwa nomwe munhu. Pane kanhu kakashota somabhiwa atonge bepa ungada kubhuruka like, but Nelson Chamisa ane mabillboards. Mota dzake dzakufamba dzane branding. If you look at the stage he is now using for his rallies, he can now afford the same rallies that the same stage that Zanu PF is using at their rallies. If you look at the chisini chinotaurwa chipupiti, if you look at chipupiti chake chanaka cha already chakanyorwa kunzi Nelson Chamisa, it is starting to look pretty. He is, if you look at even Patson Zamara, you know Patson Zamara, if you look at Patson Zamara, achabuda akabata mapicture akabata chichingwa ne cascade akubata chicken in. Patson Zamara is now eating chicken in. Guys, I think maybe it's because I'm promoting it on my show, I don't know, but Patson Zamara, I saw him with my own eyes eating chicken in. MDC yakutsukisa vanhu mukanwa, tsukisa vanhu muromo. So they've got some money now. Remember when Nelson Chamisa took the trip to Israel? Let me tell you something about politicians and the trip they make. There is no politician who gets onto an aeroplane to make a trip to a foreign land during election season and there isn't parukunorowa panonaka. Zvakangofanana. Akuna murume anobuda mumba akazora perfume akachena bojens achienda out. Pano the baby, I'm going out. Apa manheru kwakadoka. Asiri kuenda kunoita sei? Kunodya chikafu chinonaka. Apana. Azviite. Apana. Akatongodaro chete ari kunodya chikafu chinonaka. Apa ari kudzoka akaguta, wadya kupi? Ari kudzoka asisiri kunwirira perfume, yaenda kupi? Anga aenda kunodya chikafu chinonaka. but paanobuda achuza mukadzi wake anondikwenda kunoona bhora. Unodzora perfume kunoona bhora iwe unogeza kunoona bhora, kunoona vanhu vari kubudisa dikita iwe uda kuisa perfume. Hakuna kana namainini mukanzwa blaze vati vari kubuda kunoona bhora with the boys. Ita kana ndisiri kuendawo kunoona bhora with the boys ibhora musango, hakuna bhora riri kunoonekwa because vari kuenda kunodya chikafu chinonaka. So when he took those trips to go abroad, when he went to Israel, the reason for the trip to Israel, I didn't think he was smart enough, but it turns out he is. The reason for the trip to Israel is sometimes when people want to give you money, they want to see you, they want to change money. Remember, I used to lead a political party called Viva Zimbabwe. Maiti marita iwana sei, maiti marita iwana kupi. Ino waniko wakwira ndege mzala. Saka Blaz wakwira ndege. He went, he got some money, so now they've got some money. I've heard a couple of figures. I will confirm the figures once I'm able to tell you the figure. But with this money, they're able to do a couple of things. Number one, because tokozari kupe, mepo inonzi tokozari kupe, irikuuya shavira ile inonzi tokozari kupe, rikuuya zototuda mari yedu 1.8 million yamkapuwa ne government. They are probably able to settle that debt now. Number two, they're able to go into the final stretch of the elections well funded. This is the final stretch. The Electoral Commission has told everybody you are not allowed to campaign in the last 7 days of the election. So Nelson Chamisa can spend the next 14 days fire for fire campaigning. Kurizake shibude mari yabuda akanona vanhu vakampa mari daenda kudza kuti ndi sugar mama wake vanonzani sugar mama wake but so I mean that I said daenda kudza kuti who gave him the money, but I can't tell you who gave you the money. But imi muona genius adzokani mari yakawana muoda wala kupi muona Titan akadzoka Titan akakwira ndege akandiwenda ku England kunoita show. Murungu atakwenda ku England kunoitei obva adzokani hembe nyowani moti Titan anga achiperforma ku show. Imi munopa imi kwanai kana mukaona Stana asiya Dion kumba. Stana asiya Dion asiwa kumba nekacheche. Stana akwira ndege aenda ku England. Munoenda ku England munoita show Stana. Imi vano ku England munoziya kunoitwa show na Stana ku England. Munoona Stana akuda mapicture ari mu Harrods, ari mu H&M, ari mu wati. Stana akwira ndege kuenda ku England kunoona chishuga mama chinobudisa cash. So Chamisa akaenda kunoonawo chi mass political sponsors akambuditsira cash. Maibata. So he's got money. Moral of the story is he's going to be able to put on a good show. So expect a fantastic show from Chamisa in the last stretch. He is going to put up a good show. I expect him to put up a good show. I'll talk about the other candidates. So you know Nkosana Moyo had a rally. Nkosana Moyo's official position should be called Mr. Chairman. Vanofana kunzi Nkosana Chairman. Because Nkosana Moyo had a rally talking to chairs. Akaita rally achitaura nema chair person. So those chairs are like people in his head. So Nkosana Moyo, for someone who knows math and knows science and knows finance, he doesn't know how to count numbers of people. So achiona macheya ayaya, haana kuziya kuti macheya ayaya, haana munakagara ipapo, saka avazi vanhu macheya. But akavatanga kuti I'm addressing my chairmans, my chairpersons, because to him, those people are chairs. Here's a picture of them. Can you see the picture of them? Do you have a picture of the chairperson? I didn't get a picture of my chairperson, Nkosana Moyo. But just go on his page, you see Nkosana Moyo was busy addressing the chairpersons. Nkosana Moyo says that it doesn't matter that you don't have crowds. My crowds are nabasa. The only person who says crowds don't matter is a person who does not have crowds. The only person who says money is not everything is a person who does not have money. The only person who says beauty is not everything bamskana is because unengone face inenge face ya iwe chair. Yeah, my chairman, mamona. Iyo rally yangu sana Moyo addressing the chairs. But in his head, he's addressing the chairmen. Ndo vanhu vangu sana Moyo. So here the valley since we are Thokozani Kupe spent the week with Zanu PF. Thokozani Kupe spent her week with Zanu PF. She joined Zanu PF on Zanu PF's campaign trail. That's what Thokozani Kupe spent her week doing. You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying to you? Thokozani Kupe spent her week with Zanu PF. Tangatina Zanu PF, my door to door, and we were talking to the people. Thokozani Kupe and Zanu PF. Oh, can you see Thokozani Kupe? There's Thokozani Kupe and Zanu PF. Can you see her? I'm trying to see if I can pull it up for you guys. Can you see her? There's Thokozani Kupe with Zanu PF doing the campaign trail. So MDC, Zanu PF, Saka Ukumurukuchema Kuti, MDC is with Mugabe. But the real MDCT is with Mnangagwa. MDC Chamisa is with Mugabe. MDC Kupe is with Mnangagwa. So both MDCs have found elements of Zanu PF to hug on to. Obviously, people say AC is being paid by Zanu PF. I'm like, obviously, AC is being paid by Zanu PF. You don't marry. Marry. I'm teasing. Of course, I'm not. I mean, I get paid for Zanu PF for proper work. Or a supporter. I mean, if I was a supporter, I would be a supporter. I know kumbiro something. Madara. Kwanda mwezo rumo my t-shirt say what. Let me wrap up the show by talking about this. This is very important. Between MDC Alliance and Zanu PF, the real battle for 2018 is between MDC Alliance and Zanu PF. The two different groups have got some of the best physical human being assets in the country. I want you to tell me, I'm going to describe the people who are assets in Zanu PF, the people who are assets in MDC, and I want you to tell me which political party has got stronger assets, who has the best assets of people to help them win. Here are the assets. So when you look at MDC has Amos Chivanda. You guys know Amos Chivanda? That guy who every time before Nelson Chamisa speaks, there's a guy, dark in complexion, always wearing viscose like. And I figure viscose like Chamisa. There's always a guy who got a cape. I know it's Amos. Amos is the guy who is pretty much playing the role of political commissar, but essentially he is also playing the chief organizer of the parties. You tell me, there's a picture that's on your screen. Tell me which party has got better regalia, by the way. Regalia MDC or regalia Zanu PF? Which party has got more than the other? So Amos Chivanda from MDC, he's the first asset the MDC has. This guy is efficient. If you want, every show is only as good as its MC. We cried earlier today for Emmanuel Manyika. Emmanuel Manyika was excellent at getting the crowd ready. Munano chokocha crowd, ano nyongonya crowd, good crowd rivene morari. That's Amos Chivanda, number one asset on MDC side. The second asset that MDC has is there's a lady called Lois somebody. I don't really know what her surname is, but this lady, she's somewhere in the background, but she's had to be propelled somewhere into the front, and they've had to make space for her in the alliance. This lady, Lois, her surname, I'm sure those who support MDC will know her. She is the single most important woman in MDC. She speaks good, she's smart, her credentials are tight, plus anoratidzika. Politics, whether you like it or not, so there is a reason people put Chiwenga in front of Mohadi. Because Chiwenga, anakamika kachu handsome kechi gandanga karipo so. Mohadi, anakachi gandanga karipo so. But Chiwenga, kau handsome kachi gandanga. Mohadi, kachi gandanga. Saka, unaweza kachi handsome kachi gandanga, unaweza kachi gandanga. My brother, there is a reason we put Thokozani Kupe before Linda Masarira. Because Thokozani Kupe, aneka kala. Uzapaneka kala kameka pendi. Karibana toko, kanuya so, kapendi. Then Linda, anayofti pendi but. Comme si, comme ça. You know? Comme si, comme ça. Paro de papa, paro de papa, paro de papa. You know, don't get the ego. Kana upside down, kana inside out. Pare kamwenga kusauya karipo so kaje ugandanga. Kaje ugandanga. Moadi linda mazarira magandanga. Bagabata. Finish. Imika mdukutamba zangu. Vese masponono. But my other point, so you have this lady called Lois. Then you have Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda in MDC. Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda is the new spokesperson of MDC. Now, his fashion sense is terrible. Dofunga muna agara ku UK stere I think I shanda mabaze ku UK bamwe as egude angas ngafano fika masuit. Now akufika masuit kasaka asara nato jaira suit. Unozi amuna asara jaira suit unomuona. Unomuona ku uyu muna suit ikafika na Lumumba. Munongono lulu akachena. Ndino rova sutu baba inenge karowa makangona nakambeda scandal yeko anotengwa masutu acho kunoto scandalizer kunotengwa masutu saka muna sutu ndaijaira but sutu ikapekwa nepane vamwana ndopeka sutu so inoita kunge iye ndiye akapekwa nesutu azikuona zobuda so pasutu hapo but this guy is an absolute master spin doctor. He's the guy who when every time nyaya the MDC zingatengeseke senyaya ndikukudza yekuti MDC has 7 out of 210 seats going to women. Nkululeko Sibanda will come out, Nkululeko Sibanda will say, well, MDC has 70% women supporters. Happens. Saka vaka replace ma supporter ne ma player. Kuti vaka ma players vakadzi badiji supporter vakadzi. So Nkululeko Sibanda absolute asset. Then you have Patson Zamara. Say what you like about Patson Zamara, but Patson Zamara chinamira. Uno that you know the chinamira. Wakambona, a lot of girls who are watching right now will understand this. There is a guy who is in your inbox right now talking to himself. You know the guy? He's in your inbox right now having a full-blown conversation by himself. Like this, that's good. He is having, there's a guy in your inbox who is actually in your life. He has a relationship with you. You just don't know he has a relationship with you. That's Patson Zamara. Patson Zamara has a relationship so intimate with Nelson Chamisa that no one can describe what the relationship is called. Is he a spokesperson? Is he a spokesy? Is he a person? Is he a sprogeti? We don't know, but we know who the Pananero, no pana party. Party anofamba na Nero. But he's an asset because Patson Zamara allows everybody else to be crazy about Nelson Chamisa. Patson Zamara is excellent at making it okay to be crazy about Nelson because Patson Zamara can't explain what he gets in return, but he loves Nelson. Nelson can't even give him a position, even to say you are just my stupid. You are my official stupid. You know how Emerson Mnangagwa is official stupids. Stupids who will stand in front of a camera and say, I am a stupid and I am EDP. I am a stupid. That is what I am, a stupid. But I am an official stupid because you know the district chairman. Official stupid position. An official stupid position. Now, Patson, I like Patson. He's my friend. Patson comes to my house. Patson plays with my children. His children, and I'm not supposed to tell you that he has children. Okay, Patson, the children that Patson is always with, and my children, they play together. Anobikirwa sadza mbamangu Patson. Ndikaenda kumba kwake, ndinorarama mbeda wake. Ndimukadzi wake. Just jokes. Please, but point I'm trying to make is he hasn't been given his official position, but he's an absolute asset because he makes it okay to be crazy about Nelson Chamisa. Then you have Douglas and David Coulter, the white father and son. Father Selous Scout, son human rights lawyer. David Coulter is the only white person. Listen to me. David Coulter is the only white person who is still working with Nelson Chamisa. The rest of the white people are now EDP. They are figuring ED everywhere. White people in Zimbabwe are now EDPs. When you meet them, hey Robin, how was your weekend, Robin? It was all right, Sally. The weekend was all right. You know, ED is doing all right, huh? He's very stable. But you know, ED's got those soldiers, Derek. ED's got those soldiers. ED's got those soldiers. But are you going to bring the kids over? Yeah, because ED has a rally. And we're going to give some money to go to the rally. Because, you know, we say ED fair. Here, we say, you know, he'll give us our farms, you know. You know, ED wants to give us back our farms, you know. Yeah, I said it at a rally. He said it at a rally. Yeah, that bloke. He wants to give us. Now let's go and have a bride. Let's go and buy some meat. That is white people focused on EDP. Now, before you took at me and say I'm being racist about white people, listen to me. The ones I know. They even speak Shona. The white people are now even. They're even now black. They're now even black. Maybe. Except Adam, my other brother Adam, who's in England, because Adam, what he says doesn't matter. Adamski, because he's not a registered voter. I ask voter Adamski. But every other white person, I don't know. Me, I think that's why David quoted and Douglas quoted, they are absolutely assets in MDC. Even though MDC, you know about can you imagine who would have ever thought we would get to a point where MDC has less white people than Zanu PF? Zanu PF now is more Makaradi. More mixed race, more India, more I guess my white, more Chi, more Manan Blakey. More manan black, my opposite of black, I don't know. More other color than MDC. Zanu PF now actually has more. So you got Doug and you got David. Then you have an asset in Maureen Kaundemanga. Maureen Kaundemanga is the single best firebrand of any female young politician in this country. Now, I think there's a lot of young firebrands in this country who are coming up. But when you take a Maureen Kaundemanga, who is an MDC supporter, she's the former leader of She Votes. She is brutally efficient at bringing the young female vote. That's an asset you have in MDC. Then you have Gift Ostalos. Gift Ostalos, Harvard graduate young boy. I got to meet him and got to share a panel with him a couple of times. Very, very sharp, smart young man. But I just MDC. But Gift Ostalos is a brilliant mind. He is the only brilliant young mind I actually know from MDC. Actually. Because Gift Ostalos, he's the leader of Generational Consensus. Of those who know, they really know we started Generational Consensus. But I left it for Gift Ostalos. Very brilliant young man. He's an absolute asset for MDC. Then you've got Charlton Wende. Charlton Wende is the bully of MDC. Charlton Wende will bully anybody, say anything to just prop MDC up. And finally, you have Kate Hoey in Britain. Kate Hoey, at the beginning of the show, she's the final asset MDC has. So MDC has got 10 assets, the assets I've just told you. That is their first team. That's the first team. I didn't say Tendai Biti because Tendai Biti Arkurowa election. I didn't say Washman Ngube because Washman Ngube can't even be leader of a Shabin. Anga akuna kuluma kunoita Mr. Kuluma amulume. Forget it. You will not luma nothing. You will luma yourself. Because value anyway, so that's the 10 people I think make up the MDC A-list. Now, the 10 people who make up the Zanu PF A-list. Now, compare and contrast. Number 1, you have Douglas Hamadziripi. Douglas Hamadziripi is the new appointed South African ambassador, Zimbabwean ambassador to South Africa. We've just appointed, or the government has just appointed Douglas Hamadziripi, a seasoned, oiled negotiator. The man has one job, that when the elections take place, South Africa is the single biggest trading partner for Zimbabwe. Hamadziripi is going to South Africa to manage how that conversation goes come election time. Chamisa understands this. That's why he also appointed, when he was his South African representative, Hama Dziripi Douglas is the new ambassador to South Africa. Nobody is talking about this, but understand he is the first Shona ambassador. Every ambassador since independence to South Africa has always been Ndebele. Do you remember Simon Kaya Moyo? Do you remember Ambassador Isaac Moyo? Do you remember Wangari Vice President, Vice President Jagarara ichi? Ainzani ko? Vice President ukuvata anonzani? Asanga uyu. Mpekezela Mpoko. Vice President Mpekezela Mpoko. South Africa. So every ambassador in South Africa has been of Ndebele original descent. Now you've sent this Shona. Why have you done that? Because also look at who is in charge of South Africa. You now have a vendor in charge of South Africa. We are not Cyril Ramaphosa. Those who know his history who know. So that's asset number one. Asset number two, Colonel Katande. Colonel Katande has been deployed to the United Kingdom to represent Zimbabwe as the ambassador there. He's just got accredited in by the British Queen. Colonel Katande has been sent to the UK to do exactly the same job. He is going to be negotiating how Britain responds to the election results. Then you have number three, Thokozani Kupe. Thokozani Kupe is the third greatest asset for Zanu PF, because thanks to Thokozani Kupe, voters are walking into the ballot box confused which one is their candidate, the one with makeup or the one with no makeup, because ballot box candidate. Then you've got, of course, General Chiwenga. You've got Terence Mkupe, who's really outdoing himself now. You've got Obeti Mpofu, who's doing a lot of things in Matebeleland. Then there's a lady nobody talks about called Charity Manyeruke. Professor Charity Manyeruke is the head of political science at the University of Zimbabwe, the single sharpest political mind in this country. And I see her moving around with President Emerson Mnangagwa and Vice President Chiwenga. I don't know what the relationship there is, but I know if she is anywhere near a politician, if Charity Manyeruke is anywhere near a politician, she is giving them the smartest science of politics that this country can possibly have. You have SB Moyo, and of course, I cannot forget Catriona Long. The great asset Zanu PF has is Catriona Long. But the number one asset that Zanu PF has, which no one sees right now, but is brutally moving in the streets, is this woman. Pay attention to the First Lady of Zimbabwe. People say First Ladies don't matter. Compare what we know about the First Lady. What do I think we froze? Oh, compare what we know about the First Lady of MDC and the First Lady of Zanu PF. Compare the two First Ladies. I want to show you the difference. Got it up? Chamisa. Oh, so good. All right. So this is the First Lady. This is the wife, Amai Chamisa. Humble, very humble woman, very gracious woman. We don't hear her talking much. But Chamisa said today she doesn't come into the political fray because she's not the one people chose. But is she adding value to Nelson Chamisa? Is she adding value to her husband by being quiet? Compared to this. This is what Auxilia Mnangagwa wakes up every single day and does. She brutally penetrates the quiet streets of the electoral cycle. She is busy talking to the churches. Auxilia Mnangagwa is everywhere. She is busy talking to UN AIDS. Look at the pictures I'm putting on the screen. Auxilia Mnangagwa is busy talking to UN Women. She's busy meeting with the Swedish ambassador. She's busy meeting with UN, the health UNICEF. She's busy meeting with apostolic sects, talking to them about their health statuses, and she is fighting a battle that is so sensitive to so many women, which is the battle of cervical cancer. She is breaking the barriers that were put in even by Mapostori. Mapostori do not allow their women to access a scientific or chemical treatment, but she is breaking those barriers. And who do you think stands to win? She is playing with children. Who wins the hearts of the parents? She is running in, she was in Mabuku recently doing the sack jumps. Auxilia Mnangagwa is Emerson Mnangagwa's secret weapon. Emerson Mnangagwa is soft as wool, according to him. And what has he ever done in his life that qualifies him to be soft as wool? But if he says he's soft as wool, me, I say what? He's soft as wool. The real maverick is Auxilia Mnangagwa. We see a lot of the president, we see a lot of the presidential team, but the one piece of the puzzle that is taking all the votes that ACIE Chamisa should have been going after is Auxilia Mnangagwa. She is going after the silent vote, the vote that doesn't come to rallies. That's what she's going for. So I understand, MDC, you're saying your first lady doesn't get into rallies, but I think if you want to play this game, you better play it according to the rules. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, head bowed.